radio inside, so they're actually transmitting the state. So this car is able to use either technology. It can sense it itself, or it can receive that information from a smart traffic light. So that's using infrastructure, the vehicle communication to tell the car what the state is. When you put those together, it's pretty powerful because if you're driving along and there's a bus in front of you, you actually can't see the traffic signal.
Exactly.
And similarly, the radio can fail, so you can't fully depend on that either. We have both technologies in this.
Does it look for the lane lines?
Yes, it does. Do you see these lines being drawn here? Okay. So the blue lines are from the map. These lines are being detected from the camera. So you can see it knows that this is a dashed line. And then now it knows it's a solid line here. Yeah. So it's able to detect not only the presence of lines, but also the type of lines. And there's some behaviors associated with that, like whether we can do a lane change or not, that sort of thing. Reasons about all of those.
So where are we going? We're just going to do a little tour around DC? Yeah.
Yeah, just going right back to the Capitol building. Yeah. So basically this big square. Yeah, we have another demo that we would like to do that goes a little further out, but we're running behind time constraints.
Yeah.
Behind schedule.
So we've got to stop.
Hopefully this gives you a pretty good idea. There's a lot of different things that can happen even in this short period of time. People crossing the street, cars stopping, and it turns out that this is actually much more difficult to deal with than highway driving. Highway driving is very structured. There's no pedestrians. There's no bikes weaving around in the cars and that kind of thing. So hopefully we get a good random assortment of capabilities you can see. There's no one jogging in the middle of the streets on the highway.
So Raj, thank you for bringing your team down here. It's just really
thanks for your support, Suzi.
Terrific opportunity, for people to see where the future is going, right?
Yes.
How does this technology compare with the Google car technology?
I'll let you answer that, Raj.
Yes. So it turns out that the technical lead of the Google project used to be on our team at CMU, Carnegie Mellon.
Sebastian
Chris Urmson, who was the technical lead. He actually used to be
also at CMU.
But Chris was actually part of our team that built the previous vehicle.
Okay.
And then many members of the team actually come from us. So it's a very small world that we live in. With respect to the technology, they still use the spinning LiDAR on the roof of the car. And when we built this car, our number one objective was we do not want to use that sensor. We think that's impractical or infeasible, too expensive, doesn't look good, if you will, and it's expensive. And while spinning on the roof of the car, driving at highway speeds is not going to last. It's only about $60,000 to replace. So we think it's not a practical thing to do. So we actually, instead of using a single all-seeing LiDAR on the roof, we actually took multiple lasers, LiDARs, and put them around the vehicle and made to fuse them together.
Automotive grade. Yeah.
And then Google uses its cloud, if you will, with all this information that they have of maps, very rich maps. We do not have that infrastructure, so we try to be smarter about those things. We operate in an environment where we do not have those rich maps. They have deep pockets, we do not have deep pockets, despite support from you, of course.
Yes,
so therefore, we have to be more creative. We are working closely with car makers like GM, of course, General Motors.
Right.
So I think we are being more grounded and more realistic.
Well, certainly you could put this car anywhere, whereas if it's dependent on the maps,
yes,
where there are no maps, then they would have a hard time.
That is correct.
Right.
So the maps that we use are basic maps, like GPS type maps, tell you how the roads are connected. Maps that Google uses actually includes all of these things. Every little post, everything is stored as a giant point cloud from the laser. So it has a 3D model of where everything is. So basically that means the car has to drive it first. Somebody has to take the time to make that map, and then you can operate in that area.
How long did it take you to program in this route that we're taking around the Capitol?
Well, we don't really program in the route. So it's like a navigation system. So
you create a map.
Yeah, so we just need a map.
Stop!
ready.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
Woohoo!
Did you hit the brake now?
I did, yeah. It was going to hit the brakes. I'm fairly certain, but that was closer than I. She just stepped out like right in front of the car.
It jumped
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, people do that all the
Yeah.
time. Our DCs
Yeah.
is very, very exciting.
Yeah.
So I mean, whenever I think there's any chance of anything bad happening, I just take over.
Thank you.
I don't wait
Thank
to see
you.
what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah, those are the rules of Jared's operation.
But we do test that. In fact, we have mannequins on stands with wheels that we will just push out in front of the car.
Mhm.
But of course, in that situation, nobody's in danger. So we have tested that capability, but we don't test it with unsuspecting tourists.
What's your time horizon for seeing this on the road?
We expect more and more automation capability to get into cars the next even 2 to 4 years.
I'm
And
also
then-
going to take over here because of this
Yeah,
construction
right, right.
stuff here.
Autonomous ready.
And then full automation where you don't need a driver at all is more in the 2020s. But that'll actually be a very natural, organic, incremental process.
2020?
2020s, so the next decade, if you will. But we can already drive on highways. I guess if we had the longer slot, we would have done that.
And what has to happen to the transportation infrastructure, to the roads, to the bridges, and all that for that to
Yeah.
become a reality?
So the car has to become smarter, which is what we are doing.
Yeah.
The infrastructure can also become smarter,
Right.
but that also takes time. It's an
Right.
incremental process.
This is
So-
a good example of
Autonomous driving.
the driver-car interaction. So I can easily take control, give control back in a seamless way. So no matter what I'm doing, because it's not this pre-programmed route, no matter what I'm doing, the car just, as I'm driving, is always thinking about what it should do
Yeah.
if I gave it control. So it's always prepared, and then when I give it control, it just seamlessly takes over
That's
and
fabulous.
starts driving.
Yeah.
So it would be like engaging cruise control and disengaging cruise control, and more of those features. You engage and disengage, and more and more control shifts to the car over time. And the last step is just very incremental. It's just you will never notice that you're given a complete control. When it's driving autonomously, if you, as you close your eyes, think about who's driving. It looks like a normal, right? So it's like a human driving.
Yeah, it feels that way. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did you work on that too?
Jared spent a lot of time. Jared
Yeah,
and the team
yeah.
spent a lot of time on it.
That's one of the biggest challenges we face
Autonomous ready.
is to make it
Yeah,
not
what's
seem
that?
like a robot.
Yeah,
you know?
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.